Hi everybody. As you can hear, I'm sitting in a beautiful outside place, a lot of birds. My name is Brahman Menor, by the way, teacher for Pranic Living and Enlightenment. And today I'm going to do a Q&A about the ups and downs in our lives. A lot of people struggle with, especially the downs. The ups we embrace, but the downs and the periods that we struggle with life, how we can deal with that. So when you're ready, let's fire up the first question.
How to cope with lows in your life?
How to cope with lows in your life? Well, what you need to know experiencing ups and downs is only possible when there are really ups and downs. So without an up, there can never be a down. So when you experience a period that you struggle in life, and that's easier said than done, you can really just embrace what happens in the moment. Because it's experiencing and down is just a feeling that's mirrored against your expectation. Without any expectation of life, there is no up or down. There is just what it is. So coping with a down is really experiencing what you feel in that moment, or how you experience that period, and just embrace what's there, feeling. Just accept what's there. Every negative or low period can bring you an experience of what's really there. It's not always, most of the time, ever, it is really a negative period. It's just a period that you're triggered, period that things fall away, work, money, partners, struggles in life. So when you experience a negative period, it is reflecting on that unhealthy part in your life that needs attention. It's a difficult issue to accept and to explain as well to a lot of people. So let's try the next question.
When you're in a low and you're triggered and you experience the emotions and feelings like fear or doubt or sadness, you say accept what is, but how to accept when those feelings feel so real?
Well, let's take fear for example. If you really feel fear, and what we normally do in life, we keep on doing our thing and take the fear with us. When you feel fear, our mind makes it always bigger. There's always a bigger story. And the story feeds the trigger, so you're in an ongoing loop that needs to be broken. Let's wait for a car to pass. So what I've learned in life is that when you feel a trigger, or you are triggered, really stop in that moment. Make the trigger, the feeling, make it just bigger. Just sit down, let it come, let it flow. Make it bigger, 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 bigger. And that can take you sometimes minutes, other times days. So when you make it bigger and bigger, at the end, you will go through the experience. You feel emptiness. Knowing that the emptiness is behind the experience. To really change what you feel. Change what you experience. Knowing that next time you feel fear, you know that you just have to breathe in, breathe out. Go to the feeling of what's behind the fear. You can do that with all the triggers. When you feel angry, someone says something to you, just stop right there. Take a moment to soften the anger. So there's nothing. When you want to react, then there's a different energy. And that's with all the triggers in life. Just make them bigger and really feel what's under or behind that trigger. Don't make it too complex.
Why do lows seem to be necessary for growth?
Why are lows necessary for growth? Well, first, there is no grow in life. Life is just an experience. But in the deepest moments of your life, you can have your biggest experiences in your life. So when life is comfortable, there's no need to investigate. There's no need to search for something better. When you are in a very, very low period, unhealthy period, triggered, huge story of your mind, you're searching for a way out. And that can happen with someone helping you, or just being by yourself searching, where can I change? What can I change? That's also still the experience. So when you start that investigation, by going through your layers, and you know your personality, you can find the core trigger that's behind everything. There's always one huge core trigger where all the other smaller triggers are linked to. And when you know that core trigger, you can start dealing with that. So that can be control in your life, it can be rules, it can be the need for sharing your love, or the need to being being seen. And for example, if you want to be seen, you will find that that unhealthy trigger, that unhealthy need is behind everything that you do. In your personal life, in your work relation, in your sex life, in really everything. So when that unhealthy need is not fulfilled, you feel very uncomfortable. And it's really to see that unhealthy part, to accept that you don't need someone else, that you don't need the sex or the partner or whatever is needed, accomplishment of your boss, your employee. Just really accepting yourself as you are. The moment you accept yourself, you can accept that unhealthy need. You can embrace everything. It doesn't make you healthier when it is, or happier when it is, or unhappier when it isn't in your life. You'll find let's call it a baseline balance where everything is accepted as it is. Again, it's not so simple to investigate. It can take you years and years, but it's absolutely possible. That's what life is all about, to experience ups and downs. And understand, without a down, you can never have the ups as well. You need them both to experience.
I'm gonna put this a little bit closer for the sound.
Okay. Sound a little bit.
Yeah. And so.
Yeah. No, otherwise I can put it a little bit closer to the camera as well.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's try this. Is this better? Can you hear me all?
Probably higher. Okay.
Yeah, is this better?
I think so.
Ja, laat me zo maar staan.
No, it's good. Okay.
Good.
Why do those unhealthy needs feel so good? You said unhealthy needs. Why do they make you feel so good?
Can you rephrase that question?
Well, sharing your love makes you feel good.
Okay.
And I think you're saying that there's an unhealthy need under that sharing love. But sharing love is a good thing. It makes you feel good. And still it's an unhealthy need.
Yeah. Yeah. When an unhealthy need is fulfilled, there is a flow of energy. You send it out and you get some fulfillment back. Still, as long as you need a fulfillment, it is unhealthy. So the moment you take control, for example, when you need control in your life and everything's under control, it's untriggered. The moment something is out of control, you're triggered, the story of the mind takes over, and then it feels unhealthy. You feel anger, or you feel sad, or something else.
Lonely.
Lonely, yeah. possible. So the moment your unhealthy trigger is fulfilled, feel happy. You're not triggered, so but still it's unhealthy because you need that other fulfillment from someone else, or you need that fulfillment of that unhealthy need. So it still has control over your life, over your triggers and your story of your mind. So it's still unhealthy, even though it feels periods that can feel very comfortable or happy, or when you take certain things away, the happiness is gone as well. So that's really, well, not dangerous, but it's unhealthy. Yeah.
Why is it so difficult to stay calm, accepting and loving during a difficult situation?
Oh. Well, the moment the core trigger is triggered, we feel a lot of triggers in our body, and we create a bigger story. That's well, I don't want to call it a negative energy, but it's an unpleasant feeling. It's very hard to accept that unpleasant feeling. So when you feel that, it's really not pleasant, because you feel different emotions coming up, panic, fear, anger, whatever may be there for you. So, and that makes life very uncomfortable. It's really hard to deal with that. It gives people stress, gives people well, a lot of different emotions. An emotion of happiness is welcome, but an emotion of pain, of anger, that's not. It really affects the pleasant of your life, the happiness in your life. Let's wait for another car.
How can you see the positive when you're in a difficult situation?
How can you see the positive in a difficult situation? Yeah. Well, when you live in a triggered period, you need to know that in every situation there's an opposite side. So when, for example, control is not there, you could experience that as freedom as well. When there is no flow of love going out and coming back, you can experience a period of loving yourself. That you don't need anything from someone else. So there's always a positive and a negative. There's always darkness and light. There's always love and hate. There's always anger and love. Or always. So when you know that, when there is light and darkness together, it's zero. If there's an up and there's a down, together they are zero. It's a beautiful investigation, a beautiful way of searching. What do I feel? What's happening? And what's the opposite side? If you have a period of flow and the flow starts fading away, we feel stuck. But it's also freedom. It's also a period to experience less flow. For example, during Corona, we can't spend any money on eating, drinking. You're staying more at home. You can say I'll meditate more, I enjoy my personal surrounding more. I see less people, so I have more time for myself. That's the opposite side. So it's the positive and the negative. It's always there. Still, when you're triggered, it's hard, really hard, to do this investigation, to search for the other side. It's not that simple, but it's doable.
Why do we experience ups and lows? Highs and lows?
Why do we experience them? Well, the why is because it's in your book. The book of life is all about experiencing life. So when you have a long period of lows, it's written in your book that you will have all those experiences. When you have a period of highs, it's written in your book that you will experience your highs. That's the only why. No one has a book with only flow, only positivity, only positive happiness in every chapter. There are always ups and downs in life. So you can experience as much as possible. Without the experience, you can close your book and you can leave your body. So why do we experience that? Just because it's in your body.
Regardless of the book, highs and lows come and go, but I would really like the highs to stay.
Yeah, we all. Yeah. Well, when you follow your spiritual path, you can end up as total fulfillment. And when you feel totally fulfilled, there are no ups and downs anymore. They doesn't affect you anymore. You can experience that there is a period of no flow, but it doesn't affect you as much as in the past, or it doesn't affect you at all. You can really embrace that period and say, okay, that's welcome. When there is a lot of flow, you can also say, it's welcome as well. But you don't need the flow anymore. So flow or no flow, it doesn't affect your happiness anymore. You can be happy as you are in every moment in life. It is as simple as that. But still, it's a long investigation. It's a long period of spiritual experiences. And believe me, it will happen at the right time, at the right moment. It was the same in my life. First, a huge enlightenment experience, and that changed my life. And 10 years later, I had a different experience It brought me to total fulfillment. The total fulfillment changed everything. It didn't matter anymore if I had a partner or not, if I had sex or not, if it was raining or the sun was shining. It didn't matter anymore. My happiness inside stayed the same. It didn't affect me. You can feel the energy when I'm triggered. Yeah, you can feel the energy, but it doesn't make me happier or less happy. I can accept life as it is. As you all can, after a period of experiencing ups and downs, investigating ups and downs, knowing what's all about. You need to know what kind of personality you are. Not need to know, it can help you when you know what kind of personality. Enneagram, for example, is a very powerful tool. There you can find your core fixation, your core trigger, which all other triggers are linked to. So when you know that one, you can see that it's linked to your total being as you are in life. When you take that away, you know what it is. Your habits are getting healthier. It doesn't matter if you get feedback or no feedback, if you have control, no control, if you have rules or no rules. That doesn't matter anymore.
If something makes you happy, does that mean it's an unhealthy need?
Well, when something makes you happy and you don't know what your core trigger is, it's still unhappy, because your core trigger is fulfilled. Your core trigger is is fulfilled. It is getting feedback. There's a flow coming back of energy, and it says, well, it's comfortable, so there are no triggers. But still, it's unhealthy, because when you take the flow away, you feel triggered again. So as long as you don't know that your core trigger is fulfilled, it's unhealthy. Even the happy periods in your life. For example, when you're single and you get the man of or the partner of your life, that brings you happiness, that brings you flow, that's based on the core trigger. When you take that partner away, you feel triggered again. You feel unhappy, so it's unhealthy. When you take that huge trigger away, when you can embrace that huge trigger, it doesn't matter if there is a partner or there is no partner, if there's flow or no flow, if there's money or no money. It doesn't affect you anymore. It's all about the core fixation trigger. Your whole life is based on that. And as long as that trigger is there, your whole life is unhealthy. It's based on unhealthiness. 99% of the people doesn't even know that their life is based on an unhealthy trigger. So start investigating, start searching, read the Enneagram or find someone that can help you with that. Find your core trigger. First your core personality, then your core trigger, and start investigating. What if there's no flow on that trigger? When control is part of your life, what if nothing is under control? Can you embrace that? Because control is your basic trigger. Or sharing love. When there's no one around, you can never share your love. You can only share your love with yourself. Do you feel happy then? So start that investigation, because it can really change your life. It can really change the glasses you look through at life. You can embrace life as it is. Start a new chapter in your life. No more questions? Well, I understand that this is a real difficult life to understand for most people. Why? Because I'm talking most of the time and you're listening with your mind. And your mind is your ego. Your ego is linked to the core trigger. Your mind doesn't want to lose control, doesn't want no fulfillment of that trigger. Because right now your mind and your body, and they are linked together, are having control over you. You are not your mind and your body. You are not your ego. You are a soul. And as a soul, we use our body and mind for experiences. But you can take control over your life. You can take control over your mind and your physical body. But first you have to understand how the mind and the trigger works. And in your deepest moments, when you're triggered the most, you feel unhealthy, you feel out of balance, anger, fear, whatever is there, you can really open up at that moment. Really feel what's happening. And when you know that, you can really sit down, let it happen, till there's nothing left. You will end up in a period that you can really zoom out, experience that there's a body and an ego and a mind, and that you are in a higher awareness. You can take control from that higher awareness instead of your mind and your ego having control over your life. Make that switch. Make that switch. And if you can't make that switch yourself, I can help. All that I do with people is life-changing. I can help you to investigate, to go deeper, or with Pranic Living, because that's life-changing as well, or during a darshan retreat. You will go deeper, 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 without investigating with your mind. You just go through all your layers deeper, 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 till you end up in nothing. You have the most beautiful experience in your life. From that experience, you will step in a new chapter of your life. A chapter where your mind has no control anymore. Why? Because you chose to be there. That's written in your book. Why with me? Or with someone else? The right person is written in your book. You will know who to go to and where to find your freedom. Yeah, beautiful. Yeah. Well, let's start investigating. I hope I give you a reason to go deeper, to dive in, even when you are at your high or your low. Start investigating, because it's such a beautiful way of choosing your own freedom, choosing and taking control of your life from a different perspective. So enjoy your beautiful day. I only say Satnam to you all.